I want to call out bad masculinity for what it is. I want to provide a roadmap for what good masculinity could look like. I don't want to get sucked dry by the negativity of the moment, but I don't want to pass by the moment without acknowledging and like calling out what it is and what we need to change and how we need to operate moving forward. And I think it's hard because the world is built in these cycles where they flood you with information, they flood you with a bunch of stuff to get heated up by. Everyone clashes. There's someone that gets sacrificed in a public way. Maybe they get thrown in jail or they get a fine or something like that. People feel like they have justice and then we move on to the next thing. But this is so systemic and such a big problem in the world that I want to make sure that we're taking this moment as like a group of men and a group of human beings to acknowledge that this is not just something to check the box on, it's something to systemically change as a group and to not lose sight of the moment. And I think that's where like a lot of my content stuff lately has been tough because I want to provide positivity. I want to like inspire people to have a happy, fulfilling life, but it feels almost tone deaf in the moment.
Yeah.
When I post stuff like, hey, look, all you got to do is flow. You've always had the power it's inner power is all you need, but it's like, no, actually we need to take a second and realize that even before you start working on yourself, you need to acknowledge what's around you and call it out for what it is so that there's power behind you changing and growing and developing. It's not just like, I'm in my little bubble over here living in a dream world. Like there's also this collective that we need to be a part of. And we need to support women, we need to support people that are disenfranchised by the whole thing, by the system. So it's hard I'm just having trouble figuring out how to blend those two worlds.
I have some insight.
Yeah.
If you're willing.
I'm willing.
Okay. I respectfully disagree with the lack of importance it has to tell people to flow. So I think that the whole thing you need to understand is you always have to bring it back to the fact that we're living in a reflective universe. So when we say we have to call out bad masculinity, I don't think that that's actually true. I think that we have to bring light to what causes, quote, bad masculinity. So it's like the survivor from Belgium. She is able to look at these perpetrators and see the scared child.
Yeah.
And so if we can tell the world to flow, to acknowledge, to bring light, to live that, two things happen. First of all, we are righting the ship in terms of how we're raising our children, where they're not going to be wounded adults. And we're also acknowledging that if we can change ourselves, we change the world. If we can acknowledge our pain, if we can sit with it, if we can be uncomfortable with it, if we can heal, if we can do the work now, that solves everything. Because the reason why this has all happened is because those people didn't do the work. Hold them because
they got it honest.
Yes. And so and that's what they talk about, the cyclical pattern of abuse. It's because I need to project my pain onto you. Because for a moment I can feel like the one in control. It's
a way to claim some power back.
And it's all the reason why this is how I feel connection. Unfortunately, this is how I feel important. This is how I can place all of that pain on someone else. So we have to understand that these are not pure evil people. These are victims in themselves that have gone on to victimize. And so when we can really focus on doing the work and living in that flow and like taking care of ourselves, that's the only way to right the ship. Because the truth is that this is not a new thing. This is something that's been happening forever. And they want us just to think, he got us. It was one guy. Don't worry. He's dead now. We're all good. Everybody else has been exonerated.
We've learned.
But the thing is that I want to say is that if you view the world as a person, right? Because we know that we are all one being.
Collective,
So if you view us as this being, but put it in this perspective. There is a person who did something bad, right? And they were caught, and they're like, you caught me, I'm all good. But we know through doing the work, well, what made you do that bad thing?
Yeah, like
Let's
where did
sit
this
and
come from?
examine this.
Yeah.
It's the idea of the beautiful Hilary Duff saying, there's a splinter on the end of my finger that demands all the attention in the room. What is that splinter? If we don't address the splinter, everything else is going to keep happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like doing the work, living in the flow is more important than it's ever been before, and it's not tone deaf. And it's not just calling out the bad behavior, it's calling out what caused the bad behavior and giving it space and holding it. Because again, if we don't heal, we continue to hurt.